Yo, 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 another honorable day. King Earner live and direct. Today's topic is a very deep topic. It's a topic that a lot of people are not going to want to, respond to. And the ones that do, they're not going to give it understanding. They're going to respond negative. And, for the most part, as adults, as men, we shouldn't have those type of quarrels. Men should be able to have conversations like this and, you know, answer yay, nay with some type of positivity to it. I wanted to ask the gang members today that's Muslim, where do you stand with Islam? The reason why I want to ask this is because I know that a lot of gangs, they have a thing where you have to keep that oath within them. They don't want you straddling the fence. And certain calls that they make that goes against your principles, you still have to follow. I see all the guys, and I see them, going towards the way of following being a blood or following being a crip, following being whatever it is outside of themselves. I have to give you the understanding that if it's not a music group, a group of individuals that's calling themselves a group based off of some type of positivity, and it's a group that got to do with negativity and they claiming gang gang, they got to check themselves because if it's predominantly Muslims, you have to understand that you have to stand on those grounds, on that foundation. If you don't stand on that foundation, you're all the way out of the folds of Islam. Now, the reason why I say you're out of the folds of Islam because to praise another individual is way out of whack. And when I say that, most of the gang leaders, they run everybody around them, and everyone around them has to follow what they say. Now, don't get me wrong. I know it's individuals that run around. There's maybe two or three people that people may say they're a gang also, and one may, seem to be the boss of it. You can't say that that's a gang. You know why? A gang is a group of individuals, like a group that's running around. Now, we understand the definition of a gang, but I'm saying of the negativity part of a gang. For the most part, I can honestly say Philadelphia don't have what I would say gangs. People may call it gangs, and you may hear rumors that it may be a gang, but in Philly, the gangs are two or three people, I guess, because I never seen people really, do negativity off of gang activity. I have never, I'm not witness to it. I don't understand it. But I understand that when I was in the feds, we had a situation where there was some guy who wanted to be a Muslim and he wanted to be a gang leader. And it had a lot of it going on. But it seemed to me, at first I didn't think it was a big deal. But it seemed to me everybody started pulling out the proofs from everywhere. One is that you don't take an oath under nothing but the Shahada. Now, don't get me wrong, everybody got a lot of negativity, but to sign on to being a gang member is actually, turning your life over, man. We know that our life can only go into one direction, whether you're doing right or whether you're doing wrong. We understand that Allah is in total control and He's our boss. Your boss at your job, your manager, while you're doing something halal, your supervisor, that's your boss. He's to be honored. But you do not go under any type of title with individuals. You don't. You don't present yourself as King Earner that's down with the Bloods or King Earner that's down with the Crips. Y'all have to understand, I've been Googling things and learning about a lot more gangs, but only gangs I ever came across were the Mexican gangs in federal prison. And that's it. I mean, and the Bloods and the Crips. That's the only gangs that I really know about. And I know it's a lot of other gangs, but My thing is that at the end of the day, my gang is the Muslims. I don't care where I'm at. I don't care what I'm doing. I don't care what I'm going through. If it has to do with me choosing a side, I'm going to choose the Muslims. I've been in a position before where it was Islam or you just walk as you are. Be you by yourself. And I came to the understanding that in order for me to respect and honor and love my Lord, I had to be around the Muslims. So this is why it seems as if every friend I have is Muslim. Because I choose to be around the Muslim, although I have non-Muslim friends. And you'll find out that those non-Muslim friends have principles of a Muslim. Some may say you're not trying to hear all that jack, all that jazz or whatever, but all the negativity you done, boy, you should not talk on that type of situation. And I tell you that I have the authority to talk on that situation. You know why? Just because I was in the streets. I'm qualified to go to a blood or a crip and say to them, brother, give me the understanding of why and how. And most of them, I'm going to keep it 100 with you, most of the gang leaders, they'll tell you in a heartbeat, I know I've done it in prison, ask them that they're riding with a law over that. And I can admit that. I've seen that. But I've also seen crafty individuals. Yes, I've seen individuals play both sides of the fence. I've seen individuals act like, they're with the Muslims, but they want to, turn their back on the Muslims. And I'm going to give you a story real quick. This is a small story of what happened to me in federal prison. Me and a good brother by the name of ML, Mikey Logan, I'm pretty sure a lot of people in Philadelphia know who I'm speaking of. We were in federal prison together. The day I got on the compound, there was a war about to start. The war was kind of like the Muslims and a couple guys from B-More had like a little altercation, or they had a disagreement and it almost went a little too far. But we had individuals that was coming in the 6-man cell that was like saying they was rocking with us. Now, don't get me wrong, I know a few dudes that was going with us that might have not, and one or two of them may be Muslim, but they was from Jersey, Hattie, Nice, DX, a couple dudes, man, that was good dudes. While you like a couple dudes, man, that really had our best interests. But it was one boy from New York who was a blood, and his whole demeanor was like, you playing both sides. And I let Mikey Logan know this. I said, brother, that man is playing both sides. I can't see how y'all can't see in his face. Why are y'all allowing him to know where the knives are at? No, he already is. He Muslim. He just run with the Bloods, but he gonna choose us. Blah 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 blah. And there was some instances that happened where he showed that he really wasn't with us. So I began to always give that individual that look of disgust, to the point where as though he had to say something to me when I was around. Like Assalamu alaikum, or how you doing, brother? Ha, whatever the case may be. Islam does not attach yourselves outside of Islam. Like I said, and I gotta repeat it, I know a lot of y'all gonna say, oh man, how you can say this? You're an ex-felon, blah, blah, blah. I'm not speaking about that. I want the younger brothers to understand before they're signing on to becoming a blood or a crip, that they understand that that oath is serious. And on that side, they don't play. But as a Muslim, on this side, we don't play neither. No matter how much wrong we do, we are Muslims striving to be believers. But we're not going to let our obligations and principles go out the window. When we do that, that's when we begin to check one another. The prayer is important. That handshake that you do, subhanallah, we don't do that. We'll shake hands regularly. Alhamdulillah, this is what we will do, but we will not search out for negativity. When it comes down to it, these lihiyas that we have, these beards, the way we dress sometimes, the way our family dress. This is the example of the Muslim. And I'm telling myself, along with others, we have to begin to propagate that, to put that out there. We have to be the ones to really allow people to know that this is what it is. No matter negativity you see me doing, that got nothing to do with my religion. Nothing. But I would not, I promise you, log on to life as a gang member in order to make my atmosphere happy. I know the people in Philadelphia. We don't have gangs in Philly. I don't care what no one say, man. You talking about music groups? We have music groups that have the talent and the essence that you will look at it and be like, they some good men. But no one is raising their hand as a gang leader. You know why? Philly never went through that type of lifestyle. And to see the youngest kind of attributed themselves to that lifestyle is blowing my mind. And I got to start with my own city first to allow you to know that, youngins, you cannot be a Muslim and be a gang member. To myself, if I ever had the ignorance to ever want to sign on being a gang member, I would have to remind myself that what? You cannot be Muslim and a gang member. If something happened to a Muslim and you have your gang leader friend or your gang homie, you have to understand that you have to take the side of the Muslim. But if the Muslim was incorrect, you are allowed to allow him to know and give him positive nasiha that he is correct, but you do not go against him in any way, shape, or form. If you do, that means you're going against your brother. I don't care where it is. I could be somewhere sitting on the steps minding my business, and I could see a good Muslim brother walking down the street, and one of my closest friends who is not Muslim could be ready to go through something with that individual. I'm going to check him and tell him no, find out why. And if the brother was incorrect, I'm going to allow him to know, alhamdulillah, you should apologize to this man because you was incorrect. If we had men doing these things, there wouldn't be so much drama amongst one another, amongst our kind. We will be able to be amongst one another. We will be able to talk and laugh and, get things off our chest and be men. But we running around here being warriors. Everybody got an S on their chest, and everybody want to make an example because of so much pain that our city has went through. So much pain that I have went through. So much pain that you have went through. You have to begin to understand that when it's time for you to back the Muslims, you want to make sure that you understood or what side you on. Because guess what? You don't never want to be on the opposite side of your brother, the one who fears Allah, who loves Allah, who follows his obligations, and even the one who doesn't. The negative Muslim, the one who doesn't. You still love your brother. As well as though you can have that care for non-believers at the point where as though you allow them to know that you're not going to allow them to be disrespected also. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he never ever allowed the Christians to be attacked based upon their religions unless they were in jihad. If you knew anything about him, you never seen him fought or be aggravated unless it had to do with fighting for the sake of Allah. Think about it, people. Why are we fighting one another? Why are we harming one another? You know why? It's groups and it's gangs that make your mentality change into an atmosphere that seems like you have to be this type of individual. As a human being, you do not have to be a rough, tough guy. You could be a man that stands on principles and keep your honor intact by always being to yourself. So I want for all the youngins to understand that you don't got to sign on to that. I'm telling you. The gang leaders don't like it. I don't care. Don't sign on to no quote unquote you a gang member. If it's not to do with a group of individuals where y'all putting music out, y'all doing something that's positive, because no matter what nobody say, now I understand that some music is haram, but no matter what nobody say, that music does not take your Islam from you. You can turn the music on and you can turn it off. So an individual that's trying to find a legal way out, he chooses the less of his wrong. He chooses the least. And rapping and music is the least of what our little brothers could be doing out here in this world. Our little brothers could be deep in the streets doing what they rap about. Instead, they're rapping the pain. They're rapping the things that's going on in their environment. Huh? Get an understanding first. When I tell my children if they listen to music, I allow them to know, look, it can mess you around, but at the end of the day, your goal is to listen to the pain inside of a rap artist. Listen to him. Listen to the pain inside of an R&B, a woman like Mary J. when she was singing her songs. I mean, think about it and look into it. It actually could teach you something. Get our mindsets together. Sign off as that gang member, that gang leader, whatever you want to be. Sign off with that. Get with you a music group. Y'all be a group, and if they want to call it a gang, it'll be something positive. I don't care if it's hardcore. I don't care if it's poetry type lyrical. Whatever the case may be, you're coming away from wanting to earn money illegally. And that's the good thing about it. But I want for you guys that's doing the stunts, the ones that's saying that they're Bloods and they're the biggest Crip in the world, try to cool it out a little bit, because you got a lot of people that look up to you, even grown-ups, and they'll sign on to wanting to be a Blood or a Crip. And y'all guys know that y'all don't want them younger guys to go through that. I know y'all don't. Because a Blood, a Crip, me and my past, whatever, it's really no difference. You see what I'm saying? We all signing off for what we supposed to be doing, and that's upon Islam, and we going, chasing something negative. So my mindset now is to get everybody to understand that sign up for something that has something to do with a group of positive individuals. Do that, earn your little coin, start putting that into something positive in the least form of what you could be doing that's negative. You see what I'm saying? So instead of putting that money into reing up and all that, you could just buy some clothes, you could buy some glasses, whatever it is, and sell your music. Help promote yourself every day, but don't promote yourself off of halfway Blood, halfway Muslim. You look like a coward when you do it. I don't care who don't like it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people is going to have a lot of feedback to say to me. And guess what I got to say? I don't care what you say. You know why? I'm trying to help myself and I'm trying to help others. So the message that I give daily is also to me and it's also to others. Although I'm not a gang member or a gang leader, it doesn't mean that this message does not apply to me. You see? Because at the time I've done it. So my advice that I'm giving you guys is advice that when I was a youngin', even though we didn't call it a gang, we still was from Broad Island. We still was from Fern Rock. You know what I'm saying? We still had Logan. We still had North Philly. We still had these spots where as though we were all grouped up. The government is misunderstanding what gangs are. Gang cannot be a record company. Gang cannot be Herbalife. Gang cannot be Honor Your Life campaign. But under the definition, gang is 2 or 3 more people is considered a group. So I just wanted to sign on and let the guys know that signing on to try to be this big time Blood or big time Crip, man, and I think they call them cuz and big homies. Let the little homies know, man. That ain't where it's at, man. Let them be a gang of Othellos, a gang of doctors, you know what I mean? A gang of graduates or something of that nature, man. Don't teach these children to do the wrong thing because We've done it so long. An example, they seen us go back and forth to jail. They seen us do things that are negative enough. People say the music makes negativity. I disagree. The music teaches you about what's going on. You put a person in the suburb and let them listen to a Leak Moss or AR Ab or a Dark Low or a Shy Money. You let them listen to these type of individuals, they're going to know exactly when they riding through the hood how to maneuver and not get themselves caught up and, hurt and stuff like that from them lyrics. You got to remember now, don't always make things negative. Try to understand the positivity out of things. It's a message in all the rappers. Every rapper, it's a message in Style P music. A lot of people probably wouldn't know nothing about jail if this man didn't give you the example of that. So don't look at it as negativity. 50 cents, positive individual. Just because y'all look at the people in a way where it's though because, they're black and they have their culture, their attitude, that they're negative people. No, how? Man made all this money off of water. You got Jay-Z, millionaire. He took people and invested and earned. I mean, come on. Let's just talk facts. Let's understand our own people. Let's begin to love one another instead of going against one another. And let's keep our youngins from connecting with gangs and trying to be in gangs. Kinger and alive and direct.